There once was a young dragon named Dexter. He wasn't a mean dragon. He didn't guard a princess in a tower. In fact, he didn't even know any princesses. He lived with his mother, father, sister, and brother in a cozy cave on the hill. Of course, you couldn't call Dexter the Dragon small. After all, he was a dragon. But he was the youngest member of the family, and he always wanted to do everything that his older sister and brother did. Dexter and all of his friends were in the fourth grade at the Enchanted Castle School for Magical Creatures. Every day Dexter ate lunch with Zippy Toad and Sage the Wonder Pup. He was a very happy dragon. Except for one thing. Dexter's family was very musical. His mother played the piano, and his father liked to sing. His sister, Dorothy, was great on the guitar, and his brother, Dan, was the best violin player in the town. Dexter really wanted to play an instrument too. Now he would get his chance. All the fourth grade students at the Enchanted Castle School for Magical Creatures learned to play the recorder in music class. The day had finally arrived for Dexter's class to begin their lessons. The students arrived at the music room and quickly found their seats. The music teacher, Miss Harmony, stood in front of the class with a box of recorders on the table. She was ready to hand them out. "Now, students," Miss Harmony said to the class, peering at them over her glasses, "these recorders are your very own instruments. You must take good care of them. Always be gentle when you get them out. Treat them with respect and they will make beautiful music for you." Everyone nodded. "When I hand out the recorders," Miss Harmony continued, "simply keep them in their cases for now. Don't take them out until I show you what to do." Everyone nodded and promptly forgot. As soon as the children had the treasures in their hands, they unzipped their cases to look at their new recorders. Dexter was especially excited. Finally, he was going to play an instrument. As soon as Miss Harmony handed him his recorder, he unzipped the case, ripping it only a little, and yanked out his new instrument. But he pulled too hard. Dexter's beautiful new recorder made a graceful arc as it flew across the room and out the window. The entire class could hear it splash into the moat. "Well, Patricia the Whale will be happy," whispered Tulip the Tiger. Everyone else giggled, but poor Dexter just sat there, looking miserable. "Dexter," Miss Harmony said, "you have to be more careful. Even dragons should handle their instruments gently. Can you do that?" She took a new recorder out of the box and handed it to Dexter. Dexter nodded sheepishly and carefully carried his second recorder back to his seat. The lesson continued. "When you hold your recorder, put your left hand on top," instructed Miss Harmony. "The first 3 fingers on your left hand should cover the top 3 holes, and your left thumb covers the hole in the back." Everyone practiced putting the left hand on top, while Miss Harmony walked around the room to check their progress. "That's your right hand, Zippy. The other one goes on top." "Good job at finding your left hand, Sage, but you might want to turn your recorder around." "Other hand, Tulip dear." Finally, Miss Harmony made an announcement. "Everyone needs to put their recorders down. Now put both hands out in front of you. Do you see an L made by your thumb and first finger? That's your left hand." Dexter, of course, wasn't really listening. He only heard the last half of the announcement. "Put both hands out in front of you." So he did, without putting his recorder down first. The recorder clattered on the floor and everyone heard a crack. "Dexter, please pay attention in music class," sighed Miss Harmony. "Can you do that?" Dexter nodded and picked up his recorder. Luckily, there was only a chip in the bell. Dexter promised that he would be more careful from now on. "Breathing is very important when you play the recorder," Miss Harmony instructed them. "You don't have to blow hard to play the recorder. Use a warm, gentle breath. Try saying 'too' when you play." "Too," said Sage, but the only sound that came out of her recorder was a cross between a squeak and a whine. "Practice blowing warm air," advised Miss Harmony. Next, it was Zippy's turn. "Bing," he said. "Try again, Zippy," Miss Harmony suggested. "Too," said Zippy, and his recorder made a beautiful sound. Everyone clapped. When it was Dexter's turn, he was awfully excited. He put his recorder to his mouth and blew hard, without saying "too." The recorder burst into flames. "Gently, Dexter," sighed Miss Harmony. She put out the flames and handed Dexter a new recorder. "Maybe this is something that you could work on at home." After school, Dexter was very quiet. He didn't want to run around the playground with Sage, and he didn't want to practice soccer with Zippy. He just started walking home, dragging his school bag behind him. "What's the matter, Dexter?" asked Sage. "Aren't you excited to show your family your new recorder?" Dexter shook his head. "I threw my first recorder into the moat. Then I chipped and burned up my second one. How will I ever learn how to play? And instruments are expensive. My parents will be so mad." Dexter was very unhappy. "Your parents won't be mad. Just practice," said Sage. "That's what Miss Harmony told us to do." That was fine advice, but Dexter knew that Sage was a good dog. She always did everything that Miss Harmony told her to do. When Dexter arrived home, his mother asked to see his new recorder. "No, I need to do my homework," said Dexter, and went off to his room. When his father got home, he asked Dexter for a performance. "I told Zippy I'd practice pitching with him," answered Dexter. When Dan and Dorothy got home, they said, "Look, there's our little maestro." But Dexter just looked miserable, so they stopped. At dinner, Dan asked Dexter why he was afraid to play his new recorder for them. "I destroyed 2 recorders," said Dexter quietly. "I threw one in the moat, and I burned up another one." Everyone was silent at the table. Then Dexter's father started to giggle. Then his mother, father, sister, and brother all started to laugh right out loud. "We've all done that," said Dorothy. "We're dragons. Dad once crushed a violin when he put it right under his chin." "Dorothy broke all the strings of her guitar in one stroke," said Dan. "And I burned up the front of a piano when I sneezed during a recital," added his mother. Then Dexter's father said, "The important thing is to learn from your mistakes. Why don't you get out your recorder and show us the correct way to play it?" Dexter wasn't sure that this was a very good idea, but he decided to try. He got out his recorder case and carefully unzipped it. Now, what had Miss Harmony said about taking care of his recorder?